Thank you for your attention in advance. It's the first time in my life that I do a coaching clinic. So maybe I'm gonna be a bit nervous. Right now I'm not nervous, but maybe in 2 minutes I'm really nervous. I don't know right now. The case is we have to do a portfolio, a thesis to present to our jury, and the thesis for senior basketball. Right now we're talking about under 14 basketball, so I took something out my thesis, what I use very often. Staat de micro aan? Yeah, what I do very often, and that's the dribble handoff. I want to talk about dribble handoff. I want to build it down in 30 minutes for the under 14 level, but in function of the senior level. So when we work in a club or when we work in a program, then we have a guideline up to the senior level, what do we want to achieve with these young players, and how we're going to build down to achieve an elite, modern, senior basketball player. Before I talk about the dribble handoff, it's important to know what my offensive philosophy is. Before I talk about the specific dribble handoff, what's the philosophy? What do I want to achieve in offense? Some coaches say, I want to play fast. That's not what you want to achieve. That's a way to do things. What I want to achieve when I talk about offense, I want a certain type of shot. I want 3 types of shots, 3. Okay, one type is a free throw, high percentage shot, that's what I want. The second thing is a shot in the power box. When we talk about the power box, that's the area around the no charge semicircle, the power box, with or without defense, an open layup or a seal. That's the second free throw shot in the power box. And the third one is a wide open shot. Talk about seniors, 3-point shot for a good shooter. Talk about these kids, some of them elite under 14 have a good 3-point shot. Other ones don't force them with another good form to shoot up 3-point shots a little bit closer. So these are the 3 kinds of shots: a free throw, a shot in the power box, or an open 3-point shot. When we talk full court, of course, play up tempo to get open layups, to get fouls. Nowadays the rules, I get the outlet pass, 1-2 dribbles, foul, unsportsmanlike foul, 2 free throws. 4 team fouls, 2 free throws. Play full court, drive and kick, open 3. When we talk about half court, I want 5 players, 5 on the court, and 5 defensive players, 5. You go 5 out formation, ball, 5 defensive players. Half court, for me really important are 3 words, 3. That's find, use, and create. The 3 important things. We come back to that later. What's the hardest thing to do in half-court defense as an individual fundamental? Coach talked about it, Coach Tunic talked about it. That's the closeout. It's the hardest thing to do in half-court defense. Cruz has the ball. Bad closeout, late, open shot. Bad closeout, drive, maybe a shot in the power box. Now we're talking about shots. I think in half-court offense, we don't talk about we need a shot, we need the advantage. Whatever the advantage may be. Right now we talk about under 14. When we talk about seniors, we go with sort of ball screens and screen-aways. Now we're gonna need an advantage. And that's what we do, find, use, create. As an example for the team, Ayuba in offense. Go over there, on defense. Ball. I think most of you, as a under 14 coach, you have specific rules. What do you do after a pass? I do. After a pass is east-west movement. East-west. Okay, after east-west movement, we always go north-south, direction of the basket. So Ayuba, he has to cut for a layup. Cut. While cutting or while passing, Ayuba found the advantage. What's the advantage? Defense on her. Defense. Well, cut. Ayuba found the advantage. And now, as a team, we're going to use it. Cut under the basket. Cut. What do? You fill the spot. And now, as a team, as a group, we're going to use the advantage. What do I mean by that? Post up. Okay. Good. In the circle, as close as possible. Circle, post up. A type of shot we want in the power box. Use the advantage as a team. Why as a team? Most of the time, if you say post up, post up, post up, 3 seconds away. Use it as a team. Okay. What do we want to create? We want to create closeouts. Bam. Open shot, bad closeout. Attack, baseline, layup. So we find it. We use it as a team. Okay. Ball back to the top. Ball back. Now when you do passing and cutting, just a small intermezzo. Everybody knows the drills. 5 out. My coach taught me I have to cut. Phil? Yeah, Phil. Okay. Like this, you will never get a layup. That's one. But you'll never get an advantage for the team. An advantage. When you cut hard to the basket, maybe 1, maybe 2 times in a game you have a layup. For sure. But now we're going to come to find, use, and the third one was create. We have to create an advantage ourselves. And one thing is the gaps. The gaps between the players. Stand in the corner. Stand. Okay, normal defense, Denzel. Normal defense. Right now, between every player, there is a single gap. A single gap means a normal passing lane. A passing distance. Single gap, single gap, single gap. The moment Sam passes the ball and she cuts really hard, bam, stop. This is double gap. A double gap to drive. And what does every coach say? No middle penetration. No middle, no middle, no middle, no middle. So in his head, what do you want to get? Middle penetration. That's the offense. Okay? Now, go back some. If some cuts very slowly, okay, I have my jump to the ball, I keep working like this. The moment that some cuts really hard, head turn, bam. And I don't know any player who gets this head turn and a help on the drive. So we have a layup or we have an advantage over there. That's the gap thing. The gap. Now, how does the dribble handoff implement in that? Okay? I talked about I want to do the dribble handoff in function of our senior level team. Senior level. This morning we had a discussion about when to introduce ball screens with this age. And the solution was, okay, but we don't do ball screens, we do dribble handoff. Right now, at the higher level, every time we go for a dribble handoff, it's not anymore this handoff and we play. It's always, or when it's possible, it's tossing the ball, tossing, searching, bam. Okay? But this is the thing that I don't want right now. I don't want. We go for dribble handoffs between perimeter players, players who play around the arc. And when do we use that in the high level? That's to create an advantage before ball screens, to create switches, okay, or to set up screening angles. For example, handoff, handoff, back screen. Okay? This phase, that comes next. And when do we start by introducing the handoff? Is when we start introducing the spacing. When we go for 4 out into 1 in, to start, we're going to start with handoffs. I want one inside player on the block, one inside. One outside player, elbow extended. Elbow extended. Over there. Okay, op het klikje. From the moment we get into this spacing, we're going to start with the dribble handoffs in the same idea, in the same. Are we going to do a dribble handoff right now? No. Find the advantage and use it as a team. Where is the advantage? Use it. No need for handoffs. But when we find and we didn't get anything, then we have to create an advantage. For example, a dribble handoff. I'm not going to speak about technique. That's a couple of minutes. But just the idea, the moment we go for a dribble handoff, don't mind the reason of the technique, dribble handoff, tick, attack, and we have two things. We have our two gaps to drive. Okay? Normally I'm a little bit here. Our two gaps, and we have a middle penetration, a middle one. Okay? It's not possible to the defense to come over here. Yeah, but then they're switching. Okay, no problem. Every time they switch a handoff, we do the same thing. And then, for me and my team, an important rule, every time we do something on the court that is east-west, under 14, maybe an interchange, or a handoff, the next action has to be north-south. Okay? Sebastien, bal? Sebastien? Sorry, David. David met bal. Even defense. Daarachter. Even defense. Daarachter. Ja, defense. Bal. Okay. For example now, if they're switching the handoff, go for it. Take, dribble, stop. Technique about later. Technique. What is the advantage right now? The nose, handoff, switch. Okay, outside. What do we have right now? What do we have? We have to find the mismatch and we have to use it. So now comes the third player, and all the coaches that work with seniors, if you have a ball screen offense, no matter which ball screen defense is over there, you always want your next player available. Hard edge, flat edge, no matter what, you have to be available. So in this action, there is no drive, available, tick. What do you have to do? Outside spot, fill the spot. Kutte, post up. Are you outside? Okay? Now, I want 4 players, 4. Geen defense. Elbow extended, block extended en block extended. 4 geen defense, Denzel. Geen defense. Denzel, geen defense. Mannen, doe wat minder tam. Ga aan de kant. Okay. Now about technique. I talked about that we use this to work to the senior level, the senior. And for me, when I watch the games, especially when we talk about perimeter players, most of the time when we go into a handoff, we will never see this action. Most of the time. Okay? So when we go in a handoff, this is the drill. I got it from Kevin Eastman on a clinic last year. I think it's a good one. Always start in the stance. Altijd stance, and when your feet and your shoulders in the direction of the ball. Anytime you're on the court, your feet and shoulders always direction of the ball. Direction. Okay? You start triple shot position, and then we go for a dribble handoff. Low stance. On the first dribble, it's an explosive dribble. Explosive. For you the same. First dribble is for you first step. And the first step should be explosive. Explosive first dribble, explosive first step. Okay? You give the handoff. How are you going to give it? 5 years ago, I was a DVD coach or a YouTube coach. Every time I saw a DVD, I said, wow, I have to use it. The DVD box of Rick Torbett, the Read and React offense, when he said, the best technique to do a dribble handoff is you go power dribble. Yeah. And next, I think that's a great technique in the sense of every player can do it. We give a good and safe feeling to every player, but in the vibe of the offense, it's not good enough for me. So I'm just, right now there is no defense, but I dribble in the direction of my defense. Okay, the way you give it is depending on the coaches. I like just a flip on the waist level. Okay, so I go handoff, take, after the handoff, I sprint as deep as possible, and I look for the ball. Ayuba, you attack the bucket, kick out to Evert. On the catch, dribble handoff. Sam, jij popt uit en doet nog eens. Oké? Let's go, try one time. Ja. Dribbel. Nee, elbow extended. Wissel. Kira, Ayuba, wissel. Ja. Oké, hier, elbow extended. Ja, tik. Go. And stop. A little secret, it's the first time ever, most of their lives, they do a dribble handoff. The first time ever. Okay? So I'm not gonna correct them with all the mistakes they make. But for me, one thing should be clear, that the moment we do east-west, okay, we have to go north-south. And it's an immediate drive, or if there is a switch, it's a pass and a cut. We have to go north-south. Defense. Kom maar zitten. Defense, Ayuba? Nee, sorry, Ayuba, defense. Okay, a very important teaching point for me. When this is the defense in the game, you have to do two things. That's one, pass the ball, and second one, learn to shoot. Okay? I don't like players with this read if you go for a dribble handoff, because the advantage is so small, because there is a reason why the defense is there. There's a reason. She's going to be open, for sure, but she has not the shot, because if she had the shot, she won't be open here. So we have to create another advantage. That's one. Okay, closer, defense. And then now, if you speak in 3 or 4 more years, dribble handoffs, or you have a switch, or they go under, how do we handle the under? Handle. It's not for their age, I know, but go for handoff with me. Okay, ball, defense under, onderdoor, under, dribble, re-screen, and play. If this is the idea in your senior team of how do you want to work, you have to teach that right now in other ways. Not to re-screen, but my defender goes under, so I have to have the dribbles to create something. For me, and that's a technique that I saw, I think 2 summers ago, with the national team of Italy, that they think in this angle that the handoff is a down screen, and that all the reads according of the defensive player is the reads of a down screen. So for example, dribble handoff, under, stop. So at this moment, if this is a down screen and my defender goes this side, then it's my advantage is over here. Okay? If this is a handoff, blijf dicht bij mij. If this is a handoff and my defender follows, with a down screen, I have to curl. So my read is, I have to attack. So then this kind of footwork, I used it in the school with the girls. That's the pull. The pull and let your feet be. Oké, ga goed luisteren wat ik zeg, hè. Ça va? Goed luisteren. Dus je gaat onderdoor. Oké, she comes for the handoff. I read it and I pull and I come back. Now he doesn't go under, but the moment she comes under, for one more time. Kom Gijs, verdedigen mij. Verdedigen mij. Ga even aan de kant, net zo. Nee, niet switchen. Dus jij blijft bij uw man, maar afstand houden, tussen laten en jij moet er onderdoor. Nee, onder tussen de twee. Oké, I go for the handoff. She goes under and I pull. Switch. Spacing. Use create. In a later stage, when we go for example, a rescreen, then is this my footwork. Do it one more time. One more. Onderdoor, under, pull, stop. Normally, come. You're on this side, that side. Front pivot. Tik. Goed zo. Tik. Nee, wacht, doe het nog eens. Zet die zo. Zo, parallel, dwars. Ja, this side, I pull. Front pivot. Gewoon, pivoteer. Vleeg zo, zo. And we have rescreen, but that's not for their age. But if you want to prepare this fundamental, you have to do it right now with them. Okay? I didn't say it, but I work mostly with women's teams. And when I work with women's teams, the handoff is mostly going under. Okay? And I don't have much players that can take. Okay, I have them, but I have also that I want to play ball screens out of the triple threat. Nog een ding? Okay, so just to recapitulate, in the half court, the most important thing is the creation of an advantage, or to find an advantage. What's the advantage most of the time? An open player or a closeout. How do you get closeouts? You find the advantage and you use it as a team. Use it as a team. And if there's no advantage according to the mismatches, well, there was a clear mismatch, but for example, Coach Tunic talked about posting up a guard. If the other guard has 4 fouls in the fourth quarter, every time into post up, that's also a situation where there needs help. Okay, every time there needs help, there will be closeouts if you pass well. And then you have to create, if there's nothing, advantages with a dribble handoff to create extra gaps or to create an extra driving angle. I want to thank you for your attention. It was a good 30 minutes for me, and it was a nice experience for me also. Thank you.